Here we are at the start of the trail, Siouxon Creek, a beautiful area. Can't wait to show it to you. Now, coming from that parking area right up there where I showed you, just a little ways down, is the trail I was talking about, Trail 130, that goes down all the way to the creek. And while I have been down there before, and it is really pretty, the creek in that area's got some narrows and some nice places to get in the water. It really adds a lot of time to your hike versus hiking down this old road is so much easier. So much time can be made up walking here if you're just trying to go to the waterfalls. If you're trying to spend a whole day here and you want to see the whole thing, definitely go down that trail and you will not be disappointed. But be prepared to spend a whole day here if you're going to be getting in the water and then looking at the waterfalls when you get to them. It's going to take all day and you're probably going to log about 15 miles. If you're wondering why this little road is closed, it's because there's always trees falling on this thing. Last summer when I came, there were trees that were covering the road, and this year it looks like there's even more. So that's why this road is closed. I'll also tell you that coming here, the road is pretty damaged. It's a windy road, it's really pretty, but it's pretty damaged. And I'm sure some of you are thinking, like, why would I not walk by the creek and walk down this stupid paved road, or semi-paved? It saves you time, and honestly, it's not terrible to look at either. It's a pretty walk. And trust me, you make up so much time doing this. You will eventually get to this point, the end of the road. It is quite a long way down this road, and I guarantee eventually you're gonna get to the point where you're thinking, we went the wrong way, we turned off where we shouldn't have, or this can't be right. Trust me, after an hour of walking at about 3 or 3.5 miles an hour, you'll get here. If you do come this way, the start of the trail is almost marked by this path cut through this log that fell, and you can clearly see where we're going to start going down to the creek. The trail comes down and meets here in the trees that have been burned, and here's your first sign that you're actually in the right area. Now right here, the trail is actually there where all the trees are fallen. So the new trail is kind of gone up and over this way and down by this tree, and then we get back to the path. It looks pretty clear after that. And before you know it, you're not that far away. I can see the wood bridge in the distance. So we're not that far away from our first waterfall. You can really see how much damage was done. I don't remember seeing any of this last year. We started this hike at about 2,000 feet where I parked. We're currently a little over 1,000 feet. So there is some elevation to deal with. Luckily, thus far, it's all been downhill. Just remember on your way out, it's all uphill and it's gonna be brutal. Here we go. I have officially upped this to a difficult hike after having to go off trail for a little bit. It was just so many trees on the ground. It's crazy how some of the sections of this trail are almost impassable And then other sections are, it doesn't even look like there was ever a fire. There is a little path down here to get to that little swimming area. I don't know if you can tell, but on camera the water is like an aqua color blue. Really pretty. And we're headed that way. As you can see, like I said, some of the trail just looks really normal. Like there was no fire damage. And then other areas it's insane. Here's another little swimming hole. Beautiful colored water. Some rock wall carved out there by the water. A beautiful area. Looks like people do go down here to get in, but not for me today. And if you're wondering why do so many people come out here and take the time to hike many miles to these waterfalls, it's not just the waterfalls, it's the whole creek. It's just amazing looking. I mean, it's so long of a hike. You could literally find your own little area for the day, cross the creek, climb up that rock, and if you wanted to, you could have lunch on that rock right above this. And you'd probably be all by yourself because there's so many other places for people to go. I can see why a lot of people consider this one of the better swimming holes or swimming areas, natural swimming areas in Washington. It's hard to argue. You get to this sign and you know you're on the right path and you're not too far. Horseshoe Ridge. The first waterfall we're going to come across is Horseshoe Falls, so not too long now. Horseshoe Falls. You do have to hike up and over these falls to continue on. It's not terribly difficult, but I mean, there is some elevation gain. It'll get you breathing hard for sure. I think you can see the creek way down there, so we must have climbed at least 200 feet. And after many miles, you come to this area. It's quite clear and almost looks like there's grass on the ground, but it's just a bunch of foliage and moss. You come to that bench right there, and that bench is there for a reason. Siouxon Creek Falls is probably the most known thing in this area. The falls are really flowing hard right now, and that pool in the summertime is a beautiful blue-green clear water swimming hole. And maybe why this area is so popular in the summer is because of that little pool under the waterfall right there. But there's more to this area than just a nice waterfall and a swimming hole. So much more. Hopefully I don't run out of daylight and I can show you some of it. Another beautiful swimming hole here, and small falls. From the color of the water, it's got to be at least 20 feet deep here. A great place to jump in and enjoy a summer day. Many miles in, and I'm pretty sure now 100% I am the only idiot out here. After an off-trail excursion, some cold water and some slippery rock, we have Lower Wildcat Falls. The Siouxon Creek is right over there and the trail is right up there. So honestly, this isn't even that far off the trail, but there's something else I think we need to see further up. After a beautiful creek walk, I see another falls in the distance. I can see why people don't really come here. It's a beautiful creek walk, but with all the trees, it's kind of annoying. The rocks are quite slippery, but as you can see, the watercolor is incredible. It's really a shame all these logs are in this pool because it looks incredible. Oh wow, look at that color. It's got to be at least 5 or 6 feet deep. Incredible log jam. I have to correct myself. I'm pretty sure this is Wildcat Falls, Lower Wildcat Falls, not Wildcat. Wildcat is actually further that way, and I ran out of time today, so I'm gonna have to come back and spend another day in Siouxon Creek to get what I want. But this was not a bad find either. Sadly, I've reached my turnaround point. I ran out of time. I don't really want to sleep out here tonight. And I'm so far in, I gotta turn around or I ain't gonna make it back before dark. But just around this bend, another quarter mile up, maybe half a mile, is another beautiful waterfall called Chinook Falls that I wanted to get to today, but I definitely will be hiking out in the dark if I do that. So I'm just going to show you what it looks like right now. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope I inspired you to come out here and check out Siouxon Creek. It's a beautiful area. Come on out here, explore a little bit, jump in the water. On the hike back, I've been thinking, and I'm definitely gonna make this a series. Siouxon Creek is so big, such a long hike. I'm gonna have to break it down into 3 parts. This will be the first part. Part 2, I'll come back to this trail and get the waterfalls that I didn't get. And the other one will be at the north trailhead. So sometime this summer, there will be 3 parts to this trek, and it will include everything. I hope to God that by then the trail's a little clearer. We'll talk to you next time.